Okay, so you may have seen a viral video going around. I actually reached out to the owner of this video to get permission to post it and talk about it, and we have. He's actually seen a good amount of my videos, so that's great to see. And I'm going to show you guys the video first, and we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Oh man. Why am I getting pulled over?
Hey guys, I'm Motor Officer Kenwright.
Hey officer, how you doing?
Doing okay. Hey, what year is this vehicle?
22.
Why is it backfiring?
It's
making noise.
I know, it's how it comes stock.
Really?
Yeah, you can check under the hood if you'd like.
Oh no, I'll just send you to the state ref, and what they'll do is send you back to the factory to have whatever. Is it in track mode?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what they're gonna do here, let me have your license. So what happens is I send you to the state ref.
Uh-huh.
All right, state ref, we're here in California. They're gonna suspend your registration.
Okay.
You can't drive the car. You gotta go take it to the state ref. They're gonna look at it. They're gonna send you back to the dealer. The dealer has to remove the track ops that you have to pay for. It's about $4,000. Once that's been done, you go back to the state ref to verify all the track modes have been removed. You cannot drive this on the road with the track mode.
Oh, I can't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Well, you won't be able to anymore. You've just lost this. You're going to spend about $7,000 on this car right now. Go ahead and get me the registration. I don't need to look under the hood.
Okay.
You can't. Track, rally motor, illegal on the road.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Well, it's your money, not mine.
Right.
They tell you this at the dealer. If not, you could sue the dealer for the money. Tell them you want your $4,000 or $5,000 back.
Sure. Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
No, I'm sure they did. They're required by law.
Oh, is that so?
You cannot operate track mode on the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
Well,
so.
then I would sue them, all right, for this ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to. Get the insurance.
Sure.
So that video is pretty nuts. You guys just saw a police officer who was obviously not having the best of days. He did not seem very happy to be doing his job. An Elantra N owner got pulled over for having a loud exhaust. I get it, for sure. They have an N mode, which makes a lot of popping noises, and it's pretty fun. And it is in California. They have very strict automotive laws, not only in noise, but emissions as well. Very strict state. This guy got pulled over for having a completely stock vehicle that sure was making some loud exhaust noises, and he got a citation for it. Despite the car being 100% stock, the officer just decided to give a ticket and basically have to get it inspected and fixed. Not to mention, the officer was being pretty rude about it. Overall, you don't really need to scare somebody saying that you're going to have to spend $7,000 to fix your car. It's just nuts that you can have a completely stock vehicle, get pulled over, and have somebody yell at you for driving legally. So now what happens next? Well, the owner has to get his car inspected now. He said that he did get inspected. It obviously passed smog. Again, it's a brand new stock vehicle. It is going to pass emissions. However, here's where the story gets really spicy. He did a sound test and it failed. But here's the thing. The sound test was done in N mode, which is sort of the loudest mode that you can do. And that's wrong. You're not supposed to do that at all. Anybody who's doing testing for that should know that. That should be knowledge that they have to use now. A lot of cars have different driving modes, and it matters. So funny enough, my brother Will has been on this Reddit chain for a bit, and he actually provided reasoning why what this testing center did was wrong. There are a set, document of standards from SAE. What this means is that when you turn on a vehicle to do testing, you have to do it in that mode, because that's the way that automotive manufacturers test cars. It's the default mode. When you initially start a vehicle up, Elantra N for example, you're in the normal mode. And what that means is that the exhaust is quieter to pass sound tests. And that's kind of where we're getting into why this story is so insane. This should be common knowledge to testing centers everywhere. And obviously more and more vehicles are coming with these sorts of driving mode features, and it needs to be common knowledge. The owner is now kind of screwed. He got a ticket for having a loud exhaust on a stock vehicle. He brought it to an inspection site, and then passed emissions, obviously, smog, and then failed sound with a stock car. This is messed up. And now the owner cannot get it tested again until he fixes it. The owner had to go into a dealership and essentially get a piece of paper that says, yep, this car is stock. And now, as far as I know, well, he's in limbo. He has to wait to get his car tested again, and hopefully he can get an actual appointment and get in now that his car is fixed. And I just think that this goes to show kind of the massive disconnect between the automotive community and law enforcement. Now, obviously, these sorts of things happen, right? When you have so many moving parts to a system, you have the police officer, you have the owner, you have the inspection testers, you have the dealerships. Things are bound to happen every once in a while, but I think it's important to talk about it and draw as many eyes to this issue as possible. In the eyes of the law, the automotive community does not exactly have a good reputation. If you were to ask a bunch of police officers what they thought of the automotive community, they'd probably think of something like this. And obviously, precincts are meant to give as many tickets as possible because that's kind of how they just get money now. So a quick update on what's happening. I was editing this video yesterday and I actually got a message. He has some more updates to share with us. So he did try to schedule another inspection appointment, but he actually is unable to now because technically Hyundai didn't actually repair anything. So the inspection center is like, well, you didn't fix it then. Now the owner is having to go through a lot of trouble. Basically, he had to reach out to Hyundai Corporate to get assigned a case manager. And now he's sort of just been tossed around a couple of different case managers. And it seems like they've sort of forgot about him. And now this guy's actually trying to get Hyundai to buy back his car because he's having so many issues with this. But unfortunately, it's not eligible because apparently it hasn't happened 3 times. I'm not sure if that's 3 times to the owner or 3 times in general to Hyundai. And it's not looking good. He has his court date in, I think, 3 weeks from last night. Time is crunching, and if you guys have any suggestions, please reply to the Reddit link down below. Reach out to the owner. You can throw them in the comments here. Maybe he'll read them. Definitely stuff needs to happen or else he's gonna get fined big. The takeaway for this story is that there just needs to be more education on every single side, right? A stock car should never have to go to this lengths to prove that it's a stock car. The testing center should know that it is not supposed to be tested in any mode other than default. And most importantly, this ticket should never have been given in the first place. Those are my thoughts on this story. This is obviously something that is relevant to me. My channel is based on an Elantra N, my brother's Elantra N, and yeah, it is loud stock, but it's completely legal. And it's just crazy. I mean, we're getting to a point where cars are starting to get pretty nuts in stock form. I mean, you look at EVs, they can do a quarter mile in under 10 seconds. It's going to be a very odd time in the coming years of well, what law enforcement is going to do about automotive culture. And I hope that they take the right steps and are educated so that stuff like this doesn't happen. But for now, we just have to wait to hear. I've been talking with the owner, and hopefully we get an update kind of soon and he can drive his car again on the street in peace and everyone moves on. But for now, I think it's just important to draw as many eyes to this issue as possible so that it does not happen to other people. Thank you for watching. If you want to look at any of the information that I provided, links are down below, so feel free, look through them. And yeah, have a good one.